Hey everyone, it's Presley at ActOutGames.com here, and today is Craft Monday, and we are going to be adding the blue light to the Tiny Tina mask.
So I did one of the eyes already just to test this out a little bit, and so we're going to do the other eye and kind of show you guys how we did it. We're doing, pretty much what we always do with cosplays, right? And that's you get it good enough to wear kind of to your first con, and then every time you wear it after that, you try and improve it a little bit. This time we're kind of working on the mask. If you remember, we started out, I think we got a video on this, with just a little like, plastic kids masquerade mask that we got at a craft store, kind of like this. We just drew on this, so it kind of looks the right part. And obviously it's real flimsy. Certainly packing it and traveling with it was really hard, but even just wearing it, like the wear and tear on wearing it was going to be pretty rough. So I actually ended up fiberglassing the inside of this mask to make it a lot tougher. And I shot some video of that. I'll try and find that, and we'll post a video on that. It's actually pretty easy. I mean, it's like decoupage, basically. Yeah. It's like doing paper mache, basically.
Yeah. It's a lot like doing paper mache.
It is a lot of paper mache, yeah. So, but that made it real tough, and I kind of liked that part. And then the only other thing I wanted to add before we wear it to Chicago Comic-Con was to put the little blue LEDs in. And so today I'm going to show you how I put this first blue LED in. I'll just do it on the other eye. Cool?
Yeah.
So step one is going to be just to drill a little hole here in the eye. We took some just black craft foam that's kind of sparkly. It's got some glitter in it to fill the eyes in. So we just kind of put those in the back and glued them in, and then I put the fiberglass over it so that's holding them in place. So really all I'm going to do is drill through that and put a little hole right in the center where we want the LED to be.
Yeah.
Okay? We just kind of center it in the eye. And that's it. So now we got a hole that goes all the way through. And the other thing I wanted to point out about this, that's a good thing, is Tiny Tina for this wears the mask here on the side of her head. So it's not like a mask that Presley's wearing on her face that she needs to be able to see through or anything like that. So I don't have to worry about eye holes and those kinds of things and being able to breathe and all those kinds of things, because it's actually just going to sit here on the side of her head. So that makes it a whole lot easier. All right, so I've got these little SMD 1205 LEDs, right? They're tiny, tiny, tiny little LEDs. And they come in like little stacks of 5, like on this sheet here. Let me take one off. Like that. So that's all there is to the little LED that's going inside. It's got the little LED bulb right there, and the bulb is just going to be sitting right there where the hole is, so that when it turns on, it shines through the hole. Okay. So I've got a red wire and a black wire, a little stranded wire. I'm going to solder the wires onto the LED, and then we have a battery pack that takes a couple of watch batteries, and then that's going to power the LEDs that are in the eyes. And so that's all we're going to do is kind of solder this together and then hot glue it into the mask. Yeah. So we're going to take a couple of steps here. You can see he's got a little plus and a minus on here. You see them? Yeah. So the plus is on this side, the minus is on this side, right? So minus is black, plus is red. So I put the black side where the minus goes. So now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to solder the red wire over here on the positive side. Okay? So like I said, solder however you know how to solder. Get somebody to help you. I'm not definitely a good guy to teach you how to solder. I'll teach Presley because she doesn't have anybody else. But really, just tin both sides. Tin your wire, tin the contact over here on the LED, and then when you put them together, apply a little heat, and they'll go together pretty quickly. Yeah. Okay? So we're going to try that. You don't touch the solder to the soldering iron, right? You touch it to the wire, and you get the wire hot, and then you touch the solder somewhere else on the wire, and it melts, and then it makes it like absorb into the wire. I just want the tip to touch the. There you go. Get some on there. Nice. Okay, back the gun up. Nice job. Nice job, Presley. That's an excellent spot. All right, ready? So you got a little solder on the wire here, and you got some solder right there on the piece, right? Lots of solder. So yeah, lots of solder. And if you put them together, they're not going to stick because it's not melted, right? But if you just kind of barely touch it with the gun and then take the gun away, when you barely touch it, both the solder here will melt and the solder there will melt. And then when you take the gun away, they'll dry back together. Okay? Touch the top of the wire very gently. And when I tell you to take it away, take it away. Just a little bit more. No, not yet. Keep going. Oh, there we go. Okay, take it away. There you go. See? How the wire slipped down into there?
Yeah.
into that big ball of solder. So now I hold it in place.
I'm moving this way so I don't poke the duct tape.
Yep. And then I should now be able to pick this up.
Cool.
See?
I soldered a thing.
You did totally solder a thing. Okay, so let's put the battery on it real quick and make sure that our connections are good. I'll hold the red wires touching each other. You hold the blue wire or the black wires touching each other. And let's see if the light comes on. There we go. See the light? Perfect. That's exactly what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now what we're going to do is just kind of put it in place behind the mask. And you just kind of want to feel around and look through the hole and make sure you get the LED lined up where it's shining as brightly as possible through that hole. And that's going to tell you where to put some hot glue. Okay? So now we're just going to put a giant glob of hot glue. So now all we need to do is take the two negative wires and twist them together. Because the battery pack will power both of these LEDs. They're pretty low power draw. So there's that. And then we're going to take the two positive wires. You want to twist these?
Yeah.
And I'll hold them. So you just spin them. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Good job. We're going to twist them back together with our power source here. So you have all three wires all kind of twisted together there. And again, we're probably going to glue these in, so I'm not too worried about how strong this connection is yet. Okay, you want to do the same thing with these? You do the negatives. Hold on, let me get them together there. Okay, go ahead. Twist it all together real good and tight. Okay, so now let's do another test run. You think they're both going to light up?
Hopefully. Yay!
Cool. So both lit up. So now all that's left is to glue the wires and this little guy in here inside the mask, the thing that holds the batteries. So we're going to glue those inside. We'll probably glue the wires down so they stay out of the way. The only thing I want to be careful to do is when I glue this down, it pops open for the batteries to change. And so I want to be sure I glue, you know, the bottom of it. That already came loose. We'll glue the bottom of it down here so that I can change the batteries out when I need to. I don't want to glue it in place too much.
Yeah,
okay, so
and probably don't glue on the off-on switch.
Yeah, obviously I don't want to cover the on-off switch. All right, so let's do that real quick. We'll solder these wires together and then glue the battery pack in. Okay, so that's about it, right? So we took some wires, a couple of little 1205 LEDs, soldered a couple of things together, a little hot glue, and I think that adds a pretty cool dimension to the mask, right? But I think it'll look great, just you know, a little touches, little things. So every time you add just a little bit to your cosplay, make it just a little bit better.
Yes.
And then after you've worn it for a year or so, do a bunch of cons. It looks pretty cool.
Usually,
yeah,
it's a little detail that you add, but a lot of work.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it takes time. But like, you know, some of the people that we know, like our really friend cosplayers that we see their cosplays a lot, like a lot of times you can recognize, oh, you did this. You add, like when you recognize people's changes to their cosplays, they really love it. It makes people really happy to sort of that you notice some little detail that they changed in their cosplay, right? And I think Tiny Teen is probably going to be one you're going to wear for a while, so it's worth putting some time and effort in this guy, right? Cool. So that's it.
So yeah, thank you for watching. And tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.